Do you write to compete, or do you want to make it in the industry? There are ways to do this and help. We talk about it in this episode.
Hadouken! It's on with Marchese and Buller. It's on with Marchese and Buller. Hello and welcome to the podcast with me, Gary Buller, and my co-host, Will Johnson Marchese. Today we talk about a subject which has come up on Twitter. I was kind of interested to see what people thought about competitiveness within writing and competitiveness in general. This kind of comes off the back of another podcast that we did, in which Leo X Robertson kindly commented on and gave his opinion. And I was kind of saying how writing, in my opinion, when you get to the stage where you're submitting to markets, it's a competitive thing. By that I mean that most of these publications have a certain number of spaces to fill, and you are vying with a lot of different people to try and get into those spaces. Because of that, it's competitive. But that said, and this is where some people I think misunderstood a little bit, that being said, I don't view everyone as competition, sort of like a negative sense. I think the writing community and your friends and your co-writers, they're important as part of your development. Like I was talking to Will about this before the show, and me and Will have competed to get into certain publications, but then again, we've helped each other out with the editing, and we've helped each other out, just checking grammar and looking for any obvious mistakes and things. Just because I see Will as a competitor in that respect, it does not mean that we're discouraging each other in any way or making our work, purposefully making our work even worse, just to sort of editing Will's works it looks bad, Editing
Will's works it looks bad,
It's not like that. There is encouragement, but I think healthy competitiveness is a good thing. And so I put this post up on Twitter. I think only one person voted no. Everyone else agreed with me. I think if you want to improve yourself as a writer, you have to have the mindset to know other people's works. You have to be slightly thick-skinned. As I said on Twitter to the person who voted no, when we're having a friendly conversation about it, when it comes to learning and developing within the writing community, it's not the friendly people being nice to me that have helped me along. It is the rejections. It is the constructive criticism that's helped me develop as a writer. That doesn't make me a negative person. It doesn't make the people who are telling me this negative people. It just makes them honest. And I kind of think that rejection, honesty, healthy competition can only improve you as a writer. Friendliness, everyone winning a medal for taking part gets you nowhere. Stephen King at the very far end of it, do you think he would want to be given a medal for taking part? No. He'd want his story to be published. So
on that note too, he has his friend, Peter Straub, and I think to varying degrees, Stephen King is more successful than Peter Straub in ways, right? I guess you could say sheer volume.
Oh yeah.
But Peter Straub is still successful too, where he's doing it for a living. He lives in New York, which is very expensive. Then you have Richard Chizmar, and he threw him a story to add stuff to, and now he's spawned a whole novel on that, because with the Wendy's Button Box and Wendy's Feather and all this other sequels to that. And there's ways of being helpful, but we'll see what Gary was saying is you can be competitive, but also help, right? Because in the long run, all we want to do is we want to succeed. We want to make it to the goal of this is what we want to do. We want to be a writer. We picked up a book at some point in our life when we were younger and said, wow, I really like this. I want to tell stories. I want to be in some way a part of this and make a living off of it, which would let you do what you love. And then they say, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly. Can I just say as well, being competitive and being friendly and being helpful at the same time, that can be a thing. And if you're quite happy just doing what you're doing, writing to self-publish, or you're just happy to be part of the writing community, you're not interested in making it as a writer, then you don't have to compete. And I'm not going to look down at you. And none of the other writers who are quite serious about their craft are going to look down at you either. Because we appreciate that. We know what it's like. I'm a working dad. Will's a working dad. Sometimes we don't have time to read, as we mentioned in another podcast. I think competition, I think rejection, I think healthy, honest opinions, not just all nicey all the time. I think honesty is very important.
Some people just want to write also just to journal, just to journal their day. They don't want to get paid, or they don't want to have anything come from it. And everybody's different, like Gary said. But we want to know what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Do you think that there should be more love between writers, or do you think that, look, we're here to get to our goal, and when we get there, we can reach back and help others that were not as, I guess you could say, successful as us.
I'm not even interested in. I've not got this delusion of grandeur and wanting to be a millionaire or anything like that. Would I like to write for a living? Yeah, I think I would like to write for a living. But I'm quite serious about my craft, and I kind of like to just improve as much as I can. And I just feel that being, friendly and nice and being part of the community and this, it is lovely, and it's a really nice side effect. And we have met friends through that. But I don't think it improves your writing at all. I think, like I say, it's rejection, honesty, getting a thick skin through other people telling you that parts of your work need to improve. I think that's where it comes from. That's where you improve as a writer. But
see you next time. I think just a quick speed test on my phone just to make sure it's not my. You keep.
It's all with Marchese and more. It's all with Marchese and more.
Being honest and a lot of ums there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I can just say as well, being competitive and being not mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? Being competitive and being friendly and being helpful. I think as far as I'm concerned with the writing thing, I just want to.
We'll see you next time.
Thin skin.
Jesus. Do you write to compete? Or do you... Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Let me shut this off. Okay. It's horror with Marchese. Okay. Now you start.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
As us, up to that point, or do you think that we should all just stay in one area and just continue to talk to each other and write? And I'm just going to cut that out. Gary.
Happy not making it as a writer, or you just happy or just put self-publishing your stories, or whatever you want to do? You just happy to be part of the writing community.
Wait, say that again. If you're happy, you said.
I think if you're happy.